Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roll up along first.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for right now.
How do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sallie on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie. How do you say there, people?
It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sallie on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
And you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call them.
Hi, everybody. It is Monday. It is August.
Oh, geez. I didn't even look yet. 15th?
Yes. It is August 15th. Welcome, everybody, to the Knockem Day Comedy Podcast, coming at you live on Governor's Comedy Club Podcast. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club. Please like and share our show. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That is the name of the Facebook page. That's the name of the YouTube channel. We are interacting with you on the YouTube channel. That's where we are. So please subscribe to that YouTube channel and hit the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Good morning, Jeff Bosey. Good morning, Liz Batapede, and everybody that's watching this morning. Good to see you. We're getting right into this. Linda Marcus Smith is here. She walked all the way from Seattle. Here she is. Hello, Linda Marcus Smith.
Hi, Tony Walker. Hi,
Nice
Sallie.
to see you.
Hey, it's so nice to be here. Thanks
In the
for having
flesh.
me.
Our
Yeah.
pleasure.
Nice. All right. So I'm going to get right into this.
Okay.
Did you see the picture I posted this morning?
Yes, thank you.
How creepy is Jeff Bosey?
He's something else. But he gives the best hugs, so whatever.
The best what?
Hugs.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Is
you
he
get
like
up
the
close.
hug lingerer?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, now it's getting a little weird. Is it like that?
Never with Jeff. He's the funniest and nicest.
Yeah, he is the nicest and the biggest supporter of local comedy. He's everywhere. I don't know how he does it. What did he do? Did he followed you to? You performed somewhere in Massapequa?
I don't remember all the places I've been at.
What was the name of it? Do you remember the name
No,
of it?
I don't remember that.
All right, how many?
I've been to I'm doing 18 things in 2 weeks, and
Wow.
Helene Witt is driving me.
Oh, that's very nice of her.
And I know that Jeff Bosey, maybe you can type in the chat where all you came. You came to 2 things, and now you're here at this. You're such a supporter.
He just wrote, "Good morning to the very vivacious Linda." See, and that's what I mean. That's what makes him a little creepy, I think.
Can he pay for a facelift? Things
You don't
are going
need a
south.
facelift. No.
The camera makes it look like I
No,
need
it
one.
doesn't.
You look great.
Not at all. Not at all. So, all right. So, can you tell me? All right. So, when did you get to New York?
I got here on the 3rd. It
Oh,
takes
you've been
3
here
and
a
a
while.
half days.
Okay.
Because we
Oh,
stay
you
in
drove?
Chicago. I took the train because I can't drive. I mean, I took the train because I can't fly.
Oh, okay.
I have blood clots.
Oh,
Isn't that
okay.
funny?
No.
No. I'm at a scale of 1 to 10. That's a pretty low thing that's funny.
I can't make it.
I didn't know that. Like, you can't fly when you have blood clots.
Right.
And
So
it's
I have-
probably pretty dangerous. Do people find out in the air? Like,
sometimes like
how would you know if you had a blood clot? Does it feel weird?
it does. It feels hot, and if you get one that goes above your knee, it can go to your lungs, brain, or heart.
I've heard
Do you
that.
feel it in your body?
What's that?
Like, how do you know you have it?
You'll have difficulty breathing, and it'll be hot to the touch. There might be a lump. You might not feel
Okay.
anything except tired. So,
I've heard it's very similar to feeling like you're having a heart attack.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've
I guess
heard.
you would know then, yeah.
I've never experienced. Andy Plajanos says, hug, inappropriate touching, whatever. Jeff is more like an athletic supporter. And then Don Sill, he's all excited. He says hello to Linda as well. Hello, Don
hi,
Sill.
Don.
Hey, Don.
Don is the best.
Don is the best.
Don is
Love him. He had me
Yeah.
on his thingamajig too, and
Yes,
I
he
mean
did.
the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to ask how his thingamajig was.
Nice.
Well, he's got a great thingamajig, doesn't he?
Does he only shares it with a few.
Well, yes, you're one of the few fortunate ones that have been able to enjoy his thingamajig. And there's video from that, too. It's
Ooh.
nice.
I could take this and go have mileage, but I won't.
Blood clots don't stop you from the thingamajig, that's for sure. So, all right, so you got here on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
How, do you know how many shows you've done?
It will be 18.
Oh, I
by
thought
the
you were
time I
joking.
leave on the 18th, including like 4 or 5 mics.
Okay.
So a lot of shows. I think 6 different things at Broadway, 2 at Comic Strip Live, a few down in the Village.
Nice.
Yeah. And a whole lot of other things. And then Helene got me into the group that is Don't Draw a Blank, Linda. That's what it is called. It's don't be nervous. The show on the Peacock channel called Good Timing about seniors in the Greenwich Village senior home. And Joe Firestone, who is with Jimmy Kimmel as a writer, she came in and taught the seniors comedy. And then she brought in other people like me. Helene brought me in and others. And we're all in her group, and her group was nominated for an Emmy and almost won. It got second place to somebody else whose name I will never mention.
Oh.
And and so the show took off, And so we had a thingamajig that I was on yesterday with a lady, Joe Firestone, in the park down on Pier 55. And there's a ton of people there to watch all of these seniors be
that's cool.
funny.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
really nice. That's sweet. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Wow, I didn't know about this with Helene. That's fantastic.
And
She
what's
gets
the
people-
age
she's
group
amazing.
of
Yeah.
the seniors?
I'm going to go with 60 and above, pretty much.
Yeah, because I don't know, like we've been down at Jones Beach doing the bandshell music, like the tribute bands and stuff, and they've all been 60s, bands, and and the people that are watching the bands are they're all in that age group, but they're so cool. They still show up in their, I don't know. Oh, they're chains, and they're like what they look like in high school. It's really
Yes.
funny.
And there's nothing like music to make us remember things.
Yeah, their
Yes,
Rolling
that's
Stone
true.
T-shirts, and their dungaree jackets. And, so it's not like when I think of I used to think seniors when I was a kid. My grandmother certainly was a senior, but I think this age group, they're so cool.
Yeah.
And we've done that. We've done game shows with Tony's Knockem Dead company, and we'll do senior citizen centers, and they're so fun.
I love doing comedy at senior centers. My mom passed away in a Jewish home in Portland, Oregon, and I went there to, come full circle with my mother's death, and I did comedy there week after week. And one time, this guy was there, and he used to work for Letterman, and he came up and said,
really?
I'm as funny as anyone he heard.
Nice.
But he was in the lighting department, so does it count?
Sure, it counts.
Absolutely, it counts.
I would
He
say
worked
it
at
counts.
Letterman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don Sill says that it's a great documentary, the one that Helene did.
Yes.
I only know Helene because I'm a big Beatle fan. So she met, I think, John and McCartney. I think she
Yes,
met. Or
she
maybe
knows
it was all
them
four.
all.
Yeah, was it all four of them she met?
Yeah.
I could listen to that stuff all day. Her talking about it. Liz Batapete says, "Oh damn, I'm a senior," and she says it was great to meet you, Linda.
Yes.
Very funny lady. She says.
Thank
Nice.
you. We
Yeah,
did the
Liz is
giggle
great.
room. That was so amazing.
It is. The room turned out really great. It's a great spot. Every comedian that goes in there has a little apprehension of being in the giggle room, and then they come out. They're like, that was so great.
That was your first time there, right?
It was my first
Very nice.
time.
Your debut.
Yes.
Yep. Jeff says he was there for it, and he got to see you at an open mic. He says.
Oh, cool.
I wonder which he liked best and why.
Well, what'd you do at the open mic? Did you do your did you treat that as
I did a lot about my military
okay?
stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so
But it was
they
different
like it when
from
I
what
get
you
in-
did at the giggle room?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't choose to have time for that. I did more of the other pillars of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was fun. It was fun being with everybody and having them. There's so many venues in Vegas where you're up too high and back too far, and
Oh,
here
okay.
it was nice and
It's
you could-
intimate,
Yeah.
but it's not small. It's not a small group.
No, there was a large
Yeah.
couple big groups of people,
Yeah.
so that was awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and different age groups were there, and that's always fun to try to get them both on board, young and old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not easy.
No,
and it's nice that you look at it as like a challenge, because some people would look at it and be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
"What do I
it's-
pick? What what would I do?"
And it's hard with an age when the age groups are varied because you're trying to connect with all of them.
yeah.
But funny's funny, and so
Well,
if
true,
you
true.
can pull it off, it's great.
When there's a group that's that diverse, I just like poking fun at myself because I think all ages can relate to me poking fun at me.
Yeah, that's true.
So that seems to be where that's my safe lane in
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't know what others do, but that's good for me.
Sure. Well, yeah, anything that's because everybody pokes fun at themselves and they relate to it. Anything that's relatable, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let me. Oh, you know what? So yeah, while we're talking about on the trip here, so you got to meet a lot of our regulars and our people that
Who'd you
hang
meet?
around here.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, I saw it. Well, and I'll throw some names out. I don't know because I'm
Yeah.
sure you met a lot of people, so I'm not. I'm sure the names are I don't know if they're fuzzy. So we mentioned Liz.
Yes.
Liz Batapede, she's,
I love
again,
her.
like Jeff, she's supporting all the time.
All the time.
And in
amazing.
personal life too, like Liz will reach out to me and she's like, hey, how's you, like even when I had my sister Lori on the show the other day, she's like, it's great that your sister like drove up to see you. How's it going? How are you two doing? And she's just a great person.
She is. I like her. I met her on Steve Marshall's Don't Behave. He does that show on the Patreon channel.
Oh, okay.
And Elizabeth is such a strong supporter there. Every time he turns on his camera, she's there.
Really?
Yeah, and she's really funny too.
Yeah.
Is she?
She's-
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
she's
didn't
really
even pay
funny.
attention. I was
She
so
appreciates
busy.
comedy, and she's pretty funny.
Well, yeah, so we mentioned Bosie, which is kind of weird, but then on top of that, you got to meet Steve Rocco Perillo.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really get much weirder than that.
I know.
Did he make you want to just run back to Las Vegas?
No, I love it when people have a
Joking.
tough exterior and they try to act tough or rocker like or a gruff bear, and that's who and so I was
Gruff
at a
bear, I
mic.
like that.
And I started during my set. I started picking on him,
Oh,
and he
nice.
got embarrassed. So I just leaned into it more. This is
That's
too
funny.
What do you remember? Give us one thing you said about him.
I don't know, like, is that Stephen Rocco Perillo sitting over there? Oh my God, he's so shy. Oh, look at him, he's acting shy. Give me a break, stuff like that.
Was it weird because you're very, like on social media, you're very active with this part of the world,
I love Long Island and
Yeah.
New York comics. I love you guys so much.
So was it weird to see everybody in the flesh?
It
I get,
was.
like right now.
Everybody's told me that they thought that I was much taller, so that means they think I'm fat.
No, it doesn't.
What?
Yeah, I thought you were much boy, are you heavy?
No, you're
That's
not.
where I'm going because I put on 20 with the pandemic, so of course that's where my mind.
You're so little. You're little.
I'm way too heavy. So
Eh,
that's
Stop
what I
it.
thought.
You're not heavy. And how tall are you?
5'2", 140, and I have no secrets.
Oh, well, apparently
I'm an
I wasn't going to ask what you weigh, but
Like
that's
it's too
fine.
much.
Have you ever lived in on Long Island at all, or have you always been out in Seattle?
I lived in Ardsley. I roomed.
Where's that?
That's like between New York and going to upstate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Am
All
I
right.
doing okay with this geography?
Yeah, and
that's
how long did you live there?
I lived with another comic, George Saltz. I lived with him for probably 3 or 4 months, but I was going into the city almost every day doing
Okay.
comedy. And then I lived in New York 3 different times in my life. In the 90s, when I was a barker for Stand Up New York
Oh, wow.
and a salesperson during the day. And then, and then I lived here a couple times doing the comic strip live, Gladys Simon, and anything else I could get.
Okay.
Yep.
This is the best visit.
I couldn't figure out how you had the connection to Long Island when you're all the way out in.
It's mostly
Seattle,
because,
but
like
now it
some
makes
of the
sense.
New York comics are very much into your comedy scene. I started interviewing, and then there was a crossover.
Right.
And you guys are so dope here, and just one, like, I think probably Jeff Bosie and
Are the weirdest.
yeah, like getting to know your comics, man. I just wanted to get to know more of them because you're secluded from New York City, but you guys are really
Yeah,
good
it's kind of
comics.
a little niche we got going out here. I mean, a lot of times it works and it's a seamless interaction, and other times it's a little rough. But that's what's neat about the 2 different places. So.
Yeah.
Well, Andy Pagano says you're right. Steve Rocco Perillo is a huge pussy. And Don still wants to know if you still live with Stephen Pearl.
I wish I did.
Ooh.
I love living with him because he has 3 cats. He stays to himself and he never shuts up, meaning that he always is giving out comedy. He's always saying funny, and you get funnier just by sleeping on
Yeah.
his couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wish I lived with him. I've lived with him twice. When I first moved into Vegas, where I live now,
Right.
he let me stay there till I found a place. And then the place had cockroaches that wouldn't quit. So Steven let me come to his place again. And then I found another permanent place.
Wow. That's very nice of him.
You get better when you're around comedians.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And to me, a lot of most comedians are funnier behind the scenes than they are on stage. You get a bunch of them together, and the rapport and the quickness and the wit and the non-political correctness, when it's just a private conversation, I am constantly amazed by it.
Me too.
Just how quick they pick
That's
on
why
each
we
other.
love doing the green room show, because they go out there on stage and then they come in here on Saturday nights and they just relax and then they're themselves, and it's really very funny.
It is.
And it's really funny, like when you see a comic on stage, they're just talking to the audience. But when you have two really seasoned comics in here and they feel safe enough with each other to go at each other, where it's just not fair if a comic goes after you. Like if a comic goes after you and you're just like, not a comic, you've really deserved it, because they usually don't. But they'll go at each other when they're both seasoned, and it's the most hilarious thing in the whole world.
It is.
I feel like it's like a gift just sitting here and being able to watch it, like to be like the fly on the wall.
Yes. I love it when I get to interview two at a time.
Yeah.
That really know each other. Like they've done the road together. They've got war stories.
Yeah.
So you like a good threesome, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Excellent. Good to know.
I have to stay on top of it.
Yeah, you do.
You're welcome. Hi, Don Sill.
Yeah, he says Stephen Pearl is a legend. Andy Plagano says, Linda surprised that Jeff isn't incarcerated because he's supposed to be. And then Liz Batapie says Peaches Rodriguez was really good. Oh, so you did the show with her?
Yeah.
She's outrageous. She's great.
She's like Lisa Lampanelli and then some.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I never put that together, but now you say that, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
She's so great.
Yeah.
And a great person afterwards to talk.
Very nice. Yep.
All of your people are. The mic I did at some tavern the other day, some tavern here. It was fun. It was a tea room. It wasn't a tavern. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think is it called the Tea Room, or
Something
Tea Room is in the name?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think that might be near us if I'm thinking of the right place, but I can't remember the full
Yeah. It
name.
was
but
great. It was
who
raining out.
and who was doing that?
This really shy guy, a tall, handsome guy, and he was very.
There's none of that
He
here.
never took any time to do any of his own comedy. He just was all about getting us up. It was very refreshing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Any idea who she's talking about?
No.
I don't know names, places. Where am I?
Well, all right. Well, maybe. All right. Well, tall, handsome. Oh, John Ziegler. Would that be it?
John Ziegler was there.
Oh,
and
he was
wasn't
It was
the
an
host.
open mic.
It was an open mic.
Then I wonder if it is Art Schill.
No,
Oh,
not Art.
I'm trying to think of tall.
He's
I
not
love
handsome.
Art. Yes, he is too. He's hot.
Really?
He's lucky I don't live here. Let's talk.
Come on, Art Schill.
Art Schill is the hottest. He's a veteran.
Billy
Yes.
James.
Trim. Can we talk?
Is it Billy James? Billy James.
I don't think
Okay.
so. It was a man. He had a girlfriend sitting at the
Cava.
bar, really pretty with dark hair. Mary Capone was sitting by them for a while.
Oh, Mary's
I don't
nice.
know.
Mary's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
But Liz wanted to know if this was the first time you met Art Schill and Rick Morgan.
Yes, Rick Morgan and Art Schill. Rick Morgan came to, support, and he came up to me afterwards and he said, "You have a really good personality." I think it meant I'm fat. We're back to the fat. Self-talk.
There's not like
Yeah,
an ounce
you're
of fat
like-
going on
yeah,
here.
there's-
Stop it. I
Are you
am.
uncomfortable? I'm not uncomfortable.
No.
Being fat. I'm not losing it.
No, trust me. I hear you. I'm with you. But I'm just thrown because you said Art Schill is hot. I can't
He's
get
so
that
hot.
out of my head.
I
now.
like his mind. I like his body. Art, are
Really?
you listening?
Wow.
He's available.
Is he? Yeah.
I think he's single.
Wow.
I think he's
should-
cute. If I lived here, it would be all over. It would be Linda, Marcus Smith, Art Schill.
Really?
I'm kidding you. I'm not a stalker.
Wow.
He's adorable. Come on, he's so adorable. He's got a really good personality.
Oh, he's a really nice guy. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's my type.
Okay.
Maybe there's one like
Does he
him
know
in-
this about you?
No.
Oh, you didn't say
Finding
anything
out
to him
now.
that night? You didn't say
I didn't say. I think I told him that if I lived here, he would, he would be in trouble.
Really? Do you normally
Never
come on
picked
that
up-
strong like that?
Nobody flirts back with me.
What-
They
what?
all say wonderful things when I interview, and then I'll say, that was really a great interview, right? And I mean, like, seeing if they're putting out the line, and they're like, yeah, thumbs up. Nobody flirts back. It's a big joke.
I think Art would go for you.
Yeah, I think we have to have a little chat with Art. Don says Art has a packet full of Viagra. Don, contact Art and tell him what's going on here.
Yeah.
We'll set them
We'll do a
up.
matchmaking
Yeah,
session. I
Art's
love
interesting because
matchmaking.
Dawn's not available. I'm just kidding. Art. I didn't say that, Art.
I admit, I have a tough time with Don Sill because yeah,
He's so gorgeous.
He's
His
just-
beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice person.
He is. He's great. Like, there's just so few people. Like usually you'll like someone, and they're just like amazing, and then like every month you like them more. You know, and it's just how many people come in your life like that. I just feel like we're like really lucky.
So many people
know?
come in and then they do something to wreck it.
They annoy you, and there's nothing annoying about Don.
Wow.
That I can think of.
But you really do have great people here.
Yeah.
None of them are like, people take their comedy seriously.
No,
here.
there's
Yes.
annoyingness that goes on.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, but for the most part, like I feel like we're like really lucky the people that come in the door because they're funny. They're so funny.
You met Chris Williamson, I saw.
I did. He's a great host.
fantastic.
Oh, love Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I
Great
just recently
personality,
met
great
Chris.
ho-
I think just this year, I got to know Chris a little bit. Like I met him a handful of times before COVID, but just sitting at a table, watching a show. But having him come in here, he's just fantastic.
Andy says, and maybe you both can attest to this. He says Don's penis tastes like a strawberry daiquiri.
Never.
It's
Why
probably
would-
more like a pizza. It's his favorite food.
funny.
And Joe Cravella, you met too. I saw.
Yes.
So there was a picture. Joe's great. He's a good friend of ours, and we're excited with guys like him because he's so young and up and coming. So I'm curious to see how things pan out for
Progress.
him.
Yeah.
He's rising up the ladder very fast.
Yeah.
Yes,
Did he
he
win
is.
the other night? Did he?
No,
he
it
go in
didn't happen yet.
Oh.
It's not until the 26th.
Oh. Okay.
The Long Island laugh-off.
Nice.
For some
a
reason,
big
I
contest
thought I
and-
saw something yesterday that said that he progressed, or this morning that
Well,
he
he
progressed.
made the finals.
But
yeah.
that was last week
what was
that he
last
made the finals.
week? Right.
Right. So I saw something this morning with him like, oh, I went further. So I thought they're still talking about last week's stuff.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Don says, "Thanks, Sally. Love ya. Love ya."
Love you right back.
Yeah,
All right.
Dawn.
Let's go to the beginning.
Okay.
A veteran.
I'm a military vet.
Tell me about that. What kind? What'd you do? All that.
I was in the Army.
Okay.
And I was a finance clerk in Hanau, Germany.
Wow.
23 kilometers southeast of Frankfurt in 1973 to 76.
What made you join, or why did you join, or were you drafted? I don't
And
know
how
if that
old
was
were you
so-
when you joined?
Okay, so I joined in 73, so I would have been 22. And
It's a big decision.
Yeah.
It is. So the serious side, my grandfather passed away, and I was the one that walked in his hospital room and saw him, and I said, screw this place, to Portland. And I had always wanted to travel. I had really bad teeth because we never went to the dentist. We were that poor. And
Had Private Benjamin hadn't come out yet, right?
Yeah.
It hadn't?
no.
Yeah. And when you saw that movie, were you like,
Yes.
did you? Because I like love
I love that movie. Yeah, in high school, nobody dated me. I was a late bloomer. And so I have a joke that I say I went from being a plain Jane to G.I. Jane, and they put me on a post, one woman with 2,000 men. I was the only woman. So I went from plain Jane to G.I. Jane to Gina Lola Brigida. And if you young people don't know what that is, take out Gina, throw in any Kardashian. It's the same
Yeah,
joke.
same thing.
But yeah, there's a lot of men, a lot of comments made daily back then because it
I
was
bet.
okay.
Yep.
So I have a joke that, all day, every day it was, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe, you wanna. And I was like, I know that I'm one woman with 2,000 men and I'm bad at math. It's a good thing I joined for 3 years because it was like, How many times a day are they going to try to shove 2,000 into one? So
And what'd you say your title was? Something with finance?
I was a finance clerk. I was a specialist E5. I never went for a hard stripe, where I'd be a sergeant bossing people around.
Right.
I didn't have any backbone back then. But if I went in again, I'd go for officer, colonel.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah.
But why do they need that type of clerk in Germany, of all places? Like, how did that...
Well, there are
Well, what they-
offices everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are. There
Every-
were back then, they've closed so many and everything. But back then, they had like a whole post in Germany. They call it a Kaserne, and so they would have all like a mini place, like a VA, only for all the troops that were in the vicinity. And in my office, we paid people probably 100 miles circumference.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
twice a month, an officer would come with an armed guard to pick up thousands of dollars of cash.
Wow.
It was all calculated, how many 20s, 10s, 5s, and they'd pick it up from our secure building with a secure guard in a paper bag, in a number 6 paper bag. These bags were going out the door with millions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Blowing my mind. We're doing everything but the paper bag didn't. That got lost in transit, so
Right.
it was weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And during the time that you were there, did you actually, other than people speaking to you like men spoke back in the day, did you ever have like dates, and did you have any relationships?
I did. I got there, and the plane dropped me off at Frankfurt at the Rhine-Main Air Base. Mm-hmm. And they're sitting there saying, well, you need to chill out. We're going to figure out where we're going to send you. Because I had a guarantee of Germany. So they said, where would you like to be stationed? They didn't know where they were going to put me. I was a novice at that time.
Sure.
Over there. So I said, anywhere around Frankfurt, which is like asking for Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
So I
wouldn't
found
even
out.
know. So
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either, yeah.
My parents came from there. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Yeah, they could have helped you and picked a good
Yeah.
place for you.
They came from Frankfurt, so I guess that was good. So the next day they told I
Yeah,
chilled
but
out.
they left because they didn't want to be in Frankfurt.
Totally.
Like that would have been like, I'd be like, anywhere but Frankfurt, because my parents swam here.
Send me to Amsterdam.
My parents went through the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And they
Oh, wow.
survived, and they
Oh,
came over here.
wow.
So I should have said anywhere but no, I
And
didn't.
going to Germany is like pretty brave, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
I would have went to Sweden or something.
that would have been good. But yeah, so they told me, okay, we're going to put you in Hanau, which is by Frankfurt. And this Jeep pulled up with a driver and the lieutenant from our office at 39th Finance. And the driver had long legs. I've always been attracted to shorter guys with long legs. I don't know why, but
How can
I
you be a
am.
shorter guy with long legs?
Yeah. So
It's just legs and neck.
It's just
so there's no chest.
legs, and then he's like this.
I had a lot of time to think about it, not getting dates.
Well, 2,000 men, and were you really the only woman on the base?
I was. I got there, and this lady.
You were
said-
popular.
I
bet.
would have made them all write an essay that I would read through as
What's the
to
matter with you?
why I would go on a date with you. Yeah. And yeah,
Don't
I
mind
would
her.
do
She's
that.
a nerd. Make them write an
Grammar
essay.
counts.
That's
and
hot.
Let me know.
Type it into a spreadsheet.
You have 2,000 people to choose from, and they all have crew cuts and look the same. I would need a letter.
I'm sure there's other things you make them do than write an essay.
Well, that would be the beginning thing. That would be the first thing that would have to happen. And they'd be like, "Why are all these letters on your desk?"
Liz Battlepeat says her sister was an MP in Germany in 1974.
What? Where in Germany, Elizabeth? I might have known her.
How weird is that?
Because you see another woman you're like, "Whoa."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But right after I got there, women started coming in 6
Okay.
months later. And so then there may have been female military police, but I didn't know it. So in all the buildings around me, there were no women. And this one lady came up to me when I got there, and she goes, well, I'm glad you're here. I've been the only woman, and I'm leaving now that you're here.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, whoa. And so I just watched my P's and Q's and tried to use
Yeah.
humor to diffuse when I got tense.
Sure, I'm sure it was a good training for your career.
Yeah. So I had a lieutenant, another lieutenant, and anytime I walk into like our office like this, and the men were having their testosterone talk, I'd walk in, the novice. The conversation came to a dead stop.
Yeah.
Lieutenant would look at me and go, "They call me the 60-minute man." And it was always, that's what he said. Well, I can put up with something twice. The third time,
Then you're like done.
look out.
Yeah.
So I said, what, to get it up?
Nice.
So that was the end of my getting promoted, but then
But then
I
you
got
don't
a
have to
little
hear the same line again, which I couldn't bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Liz says her sister was in Guisen?
Guisen? Guissen? Does that make
Yes.
sense? Like,
I think that's pretty close to where I was at. Gießen.
Wow. Gießen?
That would have been Gießen. And we
Gießen.
paid, our finance office was there where they'd pick up their number 6 paper bags twice a month.
So you probably crossed paths with her sister.
Yeah.
That's wild.
She could have been one of the guards or something.
yeah.
Wow. Well, to be the only woman, to even put yourself into that takes a lot of ball.
Really, it does.
But yeah, that's
It's
impressive.
very
Thank
brave because, you
Yeah.
know,
I loved
it's
my
going to
country.
be a little
you know.
aggravating.
I wanted to serve my country. I wanted to represent America as a woman that really, you know, like I wanted them to see I didn't hate them because of the whole, you know, like I had all these things I wanted to.
Well,
Were
that's
the-
really big of you because it really was, you know, with what your family went through, I think that would be one of the hardest things to do.
Well,
I
and
would
that
be a
was the-
spy and kill them all.
Yeah.
She's doing that now. And that was like, that was kind of like the beginning of the women's lib movement, right? The early 70s,
Yes,
right?
right. 73
Yeah.
it started.
But not in the military. Like,
Well, right, but that's exactly what
it's
I'm bringing up.
not even like that
Apparently
now.
it was.
You know,
It was.
It wasn't. You know,
And
so
the-
it had to be really difficult.
And the Vietnam War was over at that point, right? Or no?
The Vietnam War
Yeah,
was
yeah.
ending.
It was
I'm a
ending right around that
Vietnam
time.
era veteran.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly, but I get to say I'm an era veteran of
Oh.
Vietnam. While they're
A
in
what
the bushes,
Era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
while they're in the bushes of Vietnam, I'm yodeling in the Alps. That's my
Yeah.
joke about
Yeah.
that. You know.
Well,
Did
but you
you-
still serve, so that you're still a hero.
Did you
Thank
did
you.
you pick up a lot of German, like the language?
Well,
Because it's
I-
a very difficult language. One of my Sam's our son Sam has a friend who took German in high school, and it's the weirdest thing. It's like everything you say is like and they're so angry. They could be like "Have a nice day," and it's just like long. Did you pick it up at all? Did you have to?
Well, my parents were German, and German was my first language. And
Oh,
my
that's
teach-
great.
And so when you say like the fruit cherry, Germans would turn the CHs around and I would say sherry. And my teachers got really annoyed with our articulating the English language and made our parents quit letting us know German at home.
Oh, wow.
So that dropped off very young. So when I went there, it all started coming back.
That's
to me.
nice. That's cool. That had to be a great experience for you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I got to see where my grandmother was from. She was born in Frankfurt, so I got to go stand on the ground where my
Nice.
dad's mom was born.
Oh,
so
nice.
That was cool.
Did you have any relatives still there at the time? Or?
No.
No, they were all gone.
All gone.
Right.
Everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing that. Just a little tangent. My dad passed away in, I don't know, 17. When did he pass away? 15. Okay, so he passed away in 15, and but my mom passed away like decades ago, and my dad remarried. So my dad has been in a jar with my stepmom for several years, and now she just passed away. So we have the jar back. So.
Wow.
You said my dad was in a jar with his stepmom, then she passed away. Did you hear that?
I
Yeah, so
did,
she
yeah.
passed away, and now we have the jar back. How's that different?
Oh, well, because the way you worded it, you said he was in a jar with your stepmom.
No.
That's what you said, though.
Okay.
Made it sound like they were in the jar together.
Can I finish?
Teach me how to
believe this?
debate, because one day I might marry Art Schill.
Is he a debater?
I don't know.
Oh.
You'd have to be around me.
But so my sister lives in North Carolina, so she drove up with Dad, and so we're gonna have the honor ceremony at Calverton this Wednesday. Is that what you call it?
Calverton is the name of the
The cemetery.
the military cemetery here on the island.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So,
So-
it's not just the cemetery. You got to, she doesn't know what Calverton is. She's not from here.
I don't even know where I'm at. What show is this?
That's true.
No, it's
But we're gonna
Governor's
do,
Radio,
uh,
We're in
Knockem Dead.
Bosie's basement.
Like a couple of military guys are going to come out and do the flag and the whole ceremony. So we're really kind of excited about it. And they're going to end or add my dad to where my mom is, and they're going to put up a new headstone with both their names together. And so I'm just really excited about that. But
So cool.
but it's been like it's kind of like we ended up getting my dad's death certificate and stuff, but we didn't even have it at first. And so they're like, well, we can't really bury him without it. And like, do you have anything? I'm like, I just have my dad in a jar. I don't have. It's been a long time since he's passed. We don't have it. So, but we figured it out the other day. So we're excited to go do that. We're gonna do that this week.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's
great.
a reminder to you guys. We are not here tomorrow for that.
Right.
So, yeah, we have quite the week ahead of
A lot
us.
of.
I'll be here to take over the show.
Oh, you can do that.
Nice.
I'm here.
If you can figure all this out, knock yourself out.
Mazel tov.
Bring in Helene since she's driving you around. You can let her talk while you're trying to figure all this out.
She and I will banter the whole time.
Oh, bring in Art.
Ooh. Now we're
I
talking.
bet you Art knows about this, and he's driving here right now. I bet you're like, it'll be 10 minutes from now, there's going to be like this bang at the door.
With a box of Viagra.
How to shut Linda up.
How did so when you performed here in the gig room, how did you find the audience? Is it different from performing anywhere else, like in Vegas or anywhere? Or
I thought it was much better.
Yeah?
I didn't have, it wasn't like an uphill climb to get them to know who I was and laugh at my
Yeah.
stuff. For some reason, it was easy. People out in the West, they think it's so tough to do comedy in New York. It's not. It's not.
Why do they think
harder.
it's tough?
Like the New York crowd is so tough and they're going to be so hard on you.
Oh, yeah, I
They're
think it's the
animated.
exact opposite.
Yeah.
I think it's opposite. I think they're animated and they want to feel a part of it, and they are. And there's some people that are a little outspoken, but I think on a whole, comics love it.
But you also performed in the city, so did you find that different from here? Because the
noticed
city's
that
more
when I did-
touristy,
Yeah.
right? So I would
yeah.
think that would be
That's it.
similar to Vegas, right? So
Yeah.
you're probably more used to that.
Yeah, and
where
you really
here they
have
laugh
to work.
at anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to work hard to get people. Like, I go on stage and I try the first few seconds, I'm trying to just let them know I'm a wacky, and then I try to get them on board with my jokes now that I'm wacky. And they take a little longer there at Broadway,
Right.
And I don't mean that against Broadway, but you're right. It's because they're more of the tourists like in Vegas.
Right. It's a different, so many different groups. Where here, you have age difference, but that's almost the only thing. Where everything else here on Long Island, and all the comedians say it, that, like, this is probably one of the places where the politically correct people are not here.
Yes.
And the tourists are not here. So this is a group that just wants you to, boom, really just hit them and go for it and get close to crossing the line, if not crossing the line. And they love that stuff here. They laugh at everything here. And yeah, everybody talks about that. It's how much they love it here. So I was curious what you felt, especially first time.
I thought my set, like, I never say I killed, mostly because I haven't. It's like talking about my sex life. There isn't one. But I just get
Not
on
till today. We're getting Art in the car. Although
We got a couch right here.
Plagano said that Art does not drive any faster than 35 miles an hour. He'll be there next week. And then I don't know why he also said, Art, I hate talk to text.
Because he said here, Arch.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, so
Wow.
you might have to stand outside for a couple hours, but
Yeah.
he'll be here.
He's worth it.
He's worth the wait.
5
Someone
o'clock
tell
later, he
Art
shows up.
there's a love connection here.
Where anybody know where Andy? Do you know where Art lives? I'm curious.
He can't be that far.
Wouldn't it be funny if he walked in right now?
That'd be
He's like,
great.
yeah.
I'm just gonna look him up on
You
Facebook
guys just
real
make
quick.
out while we're doing the rest of the
I want to see
show.
if his Facebook page has his phone number.
They're all like laying on the couch over there.
So I've been a part of that group that he's on, the military group up here with Manny Arias.
Oh,
Project
sure.
Nine
Talk about
Line.
Manny, yeah.
And I met him through that. He's just a great guy. But
doesn't
he's
say.
the type that I could fall for, you know?
Art?
Wow.
Yeah, that's the type I could fall for. There aren't very many. The men in Vegas are, you know, if they're older, they're not into me. Do you know what I have to do in Vegas to get men to look at me?
No, what?
I have to wear a prom gown, hooker heels, and strut up and down the strip. I've got a joke about it. And then if, you know, like I'm older, so you get ignored with you've got all the showgirls to compete with. And so I like men to look at me. I'm straight. You know, the Me Too movement's been taken away a little bit from me. And I do wear pretty dresses and walk around. And I like it if a man looks at me. Is that so bad?
No, not at all.
So, yeah.
And you put on the heels and everything, yeah?
I have, but now I've been found out to have advanced osteoporosis, so I'm down to flats.
Oh, okay.
So I look short and fat.
You don't.
But you're not flat.
No. The military. Can you believe I was military? Most people can't believe it.
No, I
They're
can't
like,
believe it.
Prove it.
No, I believe it, but I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Shocked, but I
'cause
believe
don't
it.
Look it, and I didn't look it then.
Did you have to go through boot camp or
I
no?
did, but I would call it a dumbed down version
Boot
of
camp light.
What?
Boot camp light.
Yeah.
Were you like a real life Hot Lips Houlihan?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, you know, but
Nice.
like, I was like the person that was so serious, and then every once in a while something smart would come out of my mouth, and you know, like I loved I was in a cage all the time, so picture me.
Are we
with
talking
a-
about your sex life now?
Yeah, we're picturing Amsterdam now.
I was qualified as a sharpshooter with a 45.
Really?
Yeah, and I would have.
Yeah, I would have led with that.
Lead like is in the bullets. And so they had made me get qualified, and all day, every day at work, I had, to be ready in case we get robbed. And well, the worst thing that ever happened to me in the cage all day with all this money was one day, one of them lieutenants, you get these lieutenants coming through like turnstile version.
Yeah.
And he was cleaning his weapon over there, a 45.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and he shot off a round, and I was over here.
All over you.
He didn't know that his gun had a round in the chamber.
Oh, wow.
And so the bullet came right close to me. And then the bullet went down to the third floor. We were on the fourth floor of the finance office. Third floor is owned by the Germans. So now we have an international incident. So you have MPs, the FBI, the German police. That was the day he started smoking.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Well, that's what most people do after they discharge. They get up a cigarette.
Yes.
Would you have been prepared for that, like emotionally? Like, let's say, like, yes, you obviously were a great shooter, but if, like, it really came down to if someone came in to rob you, would you have been able to kill them? Like,
they never got to that part.
Yeah.
I never went through, like, the kind of thing you would do in battle. So I was trained, but nobody ever said, okay. But I was a banker for 2.5 years before the military. Never got, we got robbed twice within 2 weeks.
mm-hmm.
I didn't have a gun on me. We weren't allowed to do anything.
Right.
And then I got robbed 2 more times after I got out of the military in banking as a teller. So I've had 4 real bank robberies. People say, were you injured in the military? No, I got screwed
Other
up.
than that lieutenant with his, like...
Yes. Yeah. I wasn't injured physically, but I've got a mean twitch. If you look at if you give me any lip.
Because it is like something to think about, like a lot of people on Long Island, because the police department, it pays really well. Like, I think, I could be
Yes.
wrong, but I think Suffolk County is probably like one of the highest paid police officers in the country.
Correct, yeah.
So, people are like, oh, why go to college and spend, $60,000 or whatever they're going to get out of you when you could just join the police force. But then, like, you always have to think to yourself, well, it's not like the fire department. Like, the fire department, you're just, like, saving lives. And for the most part, for the police, that's what you're doing, too. But there will come a time, maybe, that you might have to, like, shoot someone. And that would be, like, really... Or people are shooting at you,
Yes.
Like, I think it's a difficult job.
So difficult. I would think, in Vegas, our police are they're 80% to 90% of our police are veterans.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool.
That's
And
great.
imagine the PTSD has to be rampant from what they've gone through in the military. And every day a policeman never knows if he's coming back home.
Right.
Right.
Just
Yep.
that alone, the stress.
Absolutely.
And the heat alone, you know,
Yes.
in Vegas must be awful this time of year.
Yeah. It's hard to walk in a prom gown and hooker heels
Yeah,
when it's
man.
120
Sure
out.
is.
Well, you got to breeze up your skirt, no?
There's no breeze in the desert. It's just awful. Yeah.
Did you bring any pictures of you walking in Vegas with your heels?
I did not.
Well,
You're
I'll
like
do
stuck
that.
on that, huh?
she brought it up again.
Yeah,
I've
but you
got a
brought it up 3
closet
times.
full of prom gowns. I got to meet Rita Rudner a couple years ago.
Oh, that's great.
And
She's
she
great,
goes on
yeah.
stage with prom gowns. And since then, when I've gone on
You're like,
stage.
I could work that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't bring any prom gowns to New York because they take up a lot of luggage.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, Liz Batapete said she just messaged Art.
Oh, good. All right.
I think Art knows. I think he can feel it. That I, think he's hot.
I bet he was feeling it after
He's
he got
so
home.
cute.
Why? Well,
I
no,
could see it. I could see it. It's like I could be a good match.
I hope he didn't feel it because if he didn't, because if he did feel it, then he should have acted on it.
Yeah.
So I hope he didn't
But
feel it.
people are shy. You never know. You don't want to they're
These
working.
guys go on stage; they're not shy.
But they're working, and then it's just the cliche of, oh, there's finally a woman comic in the room. Why
I'm
don't I ask
sure
her
you
out?
made it known. You kind of put yourself out there a little bit. Yeah, no, he should have jumped at the chance.
He said he couldn't wait to be on. He put himself on the show when he found out I was on it because he's
Oh,
always
this is
wanted to be
getting
on a
good.
show with me. So that means something.
What kind of
In
show?
my mind, that's
Yeah,
moving.
that was flirty.
that was
That was a little flirty. He wouldn't say that to a guy. I couldn't wait to be on a show with you because they'd be like, right? So that's a little flirty.
Wow.
This
Could be like a
art
good
chill hour.
connection. I would love to be like a matchmaker. I would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see like two people that you think would go good together, it's hard for me not to bring it up.
How'd you end up in Vegas?
So I was living in Portland, went into the military, came out, did more banking for 24 years as a married woman to a GI. Forgot that part earlier. And so then, and probably on purpose. And then
Yep.
I started raising a daughter, and she became an adult, and she don't like me for the last 8 years.
Oh,
And-
come on now.
Seriously, it's a serious thing. Like I got hit by a drunk driver in '96.
Oh my goodness.
And it took me 16 years to get better. I didn't even know how to buckle my shoes and stuff. And she was taking care of me, and it was too much for her. And so there were a lot of times where she took out her frustration on me. And so I had to put the kibosh on that and let her be free as a bird to cope with her mother's different. So you won't see it when I'm in my funny mode. You won't see many oopsies that come out. But if you watch close, you'll see it. Like, for instance, this eye doesn't do what this eye does a lot. And if I go like, here's how you can tell if someone has a brain injury.
Yeah.
If they do this, both hands go the same pace. But if they do it separately, this hand can't go any faster.
Oh, look at that.
No matter how hard I try. And I don't even like talking about my brain
Oh,
injury because
sorry.
they're more no, it's cool.
Thanks
I
a
have to
lot,
get it out.
Tony.
But the right hand moves pretty fast.
Yeah.
And you're a righty?
I'm a righty.
So
Oh, so
Art,
that's lucky.
Art will be happy with that too. Helene Witt says he's trying to get on.
Oh.
Oh, Art, like on the phone? Should we open the phones to see if Art calls?
Yeah, on the phone? I don't think so. I
Or
think
he
he's
might be trying
he's
to
probably
get on
just
his
trying to
computer.
find the show. People have trouble finding the show.
It'll take him, Helene says it'll take him 45 minutes to get here.
Maybe Helene can tag him. Could you do that, Helene? In the post. So funny.
So he's trying to get on. Yeah, I'm assuming on the phone. Then.
I don't think that's right. I think that he's trying to see the show.
Oh, he's trying to get on the
That's my
computer?
guess.
Oh, is that what you think?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I
okay.
opened up the phone lines
so
anyway,
funny.
but
Matchmaker.
What were we talking about? So we're talking
About
about
like I was
Vegas.
in Portland, and then I started doing comedy in in 2014 when my daughter and I went our separate ways. And at that time, I was in SoCal in Murrieta. And then I stayed there a year because I had given her a year to go get herself some help and for me to get myself, because it takes two to tango, you know. And so a year passed and she never came back into my life. So I said, I'll go back home to Portland. So I went to Portland, kept in touch with Elaine and all the gang at Comic Strip Live, and decided to come here and do comedy. And then I went back and came back and then back to Portland. And then one time, Stephen Pearl, who I thought maybe he was interested in me. He knows this story.
Well, you can't talk about Steve right now when Art's watching the show, because now you're just screwing
don't
up
cheat
my
on
dream.
Art now.
He invited me to a birthday party. So I went to the birthday party, and I was like, all the comedians in Vegas are around my age, straight, and they like me. In Portland, I was the old lady that was straight, white, Jewish. They're not having it. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should move to Vegas. So I did. That's why I wound up in Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, and I know they say what stays in Vegas happens in Vegas, but I want to know what kind of trouble you've caused or have gotten into, because there's no doubt in my mind you've had some trouble there.
I know. Like me and my prom gowns and my street walking with my Fitbit. So they took out all the palm trees in the middle of Vegas Boulevard.
Oh.
You know, they went on this project, middle of the pandemic. They're pulling out all the palm trees. And then they have no tourists, so all of the tweakers, people on drugs, are walking up and down the sidewalks. That is where I go with my prom gowns and hooker heels.
Yeah.
But I can't do that now because they're scary. And there's the tourists come in by droves to Vegas, and they keep it safe.
Yeah.
When they're gone, you're out there with...
Yeah.
So I decided to walk in the middle of the median where the palm trees used to be.
Did they take the palm trees out because they didn't want to spend money on water to keep them alive, and because they no one was allowed at Vegas anymore? I'm just trying to think. Because the roots of a palm tree are not very deep, so that you could relocate them.
Yeah, they took them off to some place, and they said they'd bring them back, but they haven't.
Yeah, but that's probably why.
Probably.
You're such a nerd.
I know. I'm sorry. As soon as I said this, and as I'm halfway through the sentence, I'm like, Tony is so going to make fun of me knowing about palm tree roots.
Have the tourists returned?
The tourists are back.
They are, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but there's a lot of tweakers, you know.
Yeah.
I go for daily walks because I'm in a lot of pain with the osteo and arthritis. So when I walk 5 miles, finally the endorphins kick in and take the pain away.
You walk 5 miles a day?
Yeah, that's cool. That's great.
5 miles.
And sometimes 20. I mean, I will go till the pain is gone. So it depends, you know. Wow. So I call it street walking.
Yeah, you do.
I
That's
count how many
crazy.
times people honk.
5 miles takes a really long time. What does it take you, like 2 hours? How long does
Sometimes
it
it
take
depends
you?
on how. Usually a couple hours.
Yeah.
But sometimes I go really slow.
Only because I know, because like when you run, it goes really fast. But like when I used to live our high school, I lived about 3 miles from my high school, and if I missed the bus, and it's not like I could just run home. I always had like carrying my saxophone. I'm carrying, so I had to walk, and it would take me like well over an hour to walk 3 miles.
So you're a rock star. So you hit those 5 to 20 miles no matter what, even though you're in pain.
I have to, or
Look
else
at
I'll
you.
lock up, you know.
Yeah.
It hurts so bad.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm impressed. All right, so now I want to ask, because I was looking, just like you when we were on your show, you do your research. We had a blast on there, by the way.
Thank you. You guys are great.
But we,
Come back anytime.
Thank you, we will. But I'm doing my research. I saw that you were on, it just said something about Comedy Central.
Yes.
And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes.
So tell me,
Okay,
tell us
those
about
two?
both. Yeah.
Who was the host for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when you were on?
Meredith Vieira that time that I went
Okay.
through.
I
I think it
love
was
her.
2005. I
Okay.
could be wrong.
I like her.
So yeah, my brain had been injured, and they gave me a diagnosis of mild dementia due to brain trauma.
Wow.
And I gave up for quite a few years and put the whole burden on my daughter. It's not all her fault what happened.
Sure.
So finally she said, get up and make things happen or I'm out of here. So I got up and I was like, well, hell, I don't know how to make my brain better. The VA, no offense, but they were like, you're not that bad. But I was that bad.
Yeah.
So whatever. So I thought, well, how do I make my memory better? Who am I to figure this out? And I thought, well, I remember Trivial Pursuit was a trivia game, and maybe. So I got out the cards, and I'd read the question, and I would flip the card over.
Yeah, I had
What
that
the
set
hell was the
too.
question? I couldn't remember.
Oh, wow.
That was
That
bad.
quick?
Yeah. So then it just pissed me off that happened.
Yeah.
So I would go faster. And something when I went faster trying to memorize, the information went deeper. And it was like all of a sudden a connection was made to where I was now retaining so much useless information that I was good on all these trivia shows. Wow. So I tried out and I got accepted, and I tried out for 3 shows in a row in case I needed it, and I did. And by the time the 3rd show happened, you get an audience of like 275 people.
Okay.
First night, yeah, I didn't make it into the cut. Second night, yeah, I didn't make it into the cut. And we all got together and we all wrote down 2 or 3 jokes each, because there's 15 jokes. 30 questions. You had 30 minutes to answer them. So we split the questions up and all went to different Barnes and Nobles in the city to get the right answers and come back. And then out of that group, nobody got into the next round except for me. And that day there was a rocket scientist in the tryouts. So I beat out a rocket scientist with a brain injury.
Wow.
And I got into that where they sit and you meet with the producers to see if and they didn't seem to want me to go any further. We'll call you kind of thing. And hey, that's good enough for me. I made it that far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't make any money?
No money. Yeah, I didn't lose out on anything, but I gained more confidence.
Mm-hmm.
There
So
you go.
by that.
So you did win.
Yeah. And Comedy Central.
Oh, that was sweet, baby.
Did you say something that I missed?
No,
I just
you're
said
like,
so you
so
did
then you
win.
did win.
Oh, thank you. And the Comedy Central thing was really cool because, I have a lot of pain in my heart every day waking up without my daughter in my life. It's true.
Yeah.
And so there's a comedian, and now why does her name have to disappear out of my memory? I'm sure Elaine knows. She has a podcast where she and Ian Edwards, she's a rock star comedian. If we look up the most famous female comics,
With Ian what?
Ian Edwards, her and she talk to people who have problems, and then they give them funny ways to cope. And I thought, I want to be on that show.
Do they work?
It's not Liza Schlesinger. Efferman. I know Helene knows the name. Top female comics. She came to Vegas.
I'm not, yeah. I don't,
Not Liza Schlesinger.
Moshe Kasher?
It's a real Jewish name, Efferman or...
Well, Helene, if Art is coming, tell him to come into the back door of Governor's. If he is, I'll just make sure the door is open just in case.
I can't find her name. I know Helene knows it. Anyway, I could call Helene.
She's commenting, but
We're going to call Helene Witt because she knows everything. I can't think of the name. Anyway, she had a podcast. Trust me, she's a very good female
okay.
comedian.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either.
It's like Efferman or something. Anyway, she came. She had the podcast. And I went on it, and so you call in and you say what's going on, and I told her how I have this relationship that doesn't exist with my daughter anymore, and how do you cope, and this is what happened.
What is that? What is she saying? Or maybe she's just said something. I thought she came up with a female comedian because I saw she wrote. So, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Hi. What was the name of the podcast I was on? Her mother works with you on your volunteer job? The Comedy Central podcast I was on. No, the lady with the Jewish sounding name, M-A-N, and her mother works down on 43rd and 8th with you. Okay, bye. Thank you. She doesn't remember either. That's
Okay.
senior moment times 2.
See, it has nothing to do with your
We'll
brain
phone
injury.
it in.
Well, I read the other day on this article on CNN that says that if you don't remember things, it is actually a sign of intelligence.
Ooh.
So I was like, yes.
Leader?
Letterman, Annie Letterman.
Annie Letterman.
That's
Yeah.
it. Did she write that?
Yeah.
I think that's what she was
That's
trying
it.
to write.
Letterman.
Annie Letterman. She's a fabulous comic.
I don't know who that is.
People
My
will
apologies.
line up around the building for her.
Really?
She has a following like you wouldn't believe.
What town?
Where is she from? L.A. She's LA
She hangs
based,
around LA.
but she'll come on and it's like a rock star enters the building when
Nice.
she's in it.
Wow. No, I'm not familiar. I bet you Don Sill knows who that is.
Yep, I bet you he's interviewed her.
Yeah, probably.
Good old Don.
And he just remembers like all the comics like it was yesterday. He's just really good at that.
Yeah, talking about memory. I mean, this guy, walking comedy encyclopedia. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is something. He knows everything. So with working, say, in Vegas or on Comedy Central, like, all right, so you mentioned Annie Letterman, but have you met any other big comedians? Any comedians that made big impressions on you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I think that the biggest impression was, when I met George Wallace. I was just, like he's been through so much for so long in the comedy scene, and he's still nice to the nobodies.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
that always means a lot.
Yeah. So and there's so many, in Vegas, as there is probably everywhere, like in a big city, there's people with 40, 50 years of comedy experience just hosting, and they're so humble that they will host and let somebody else headline feature, like Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Sure.
Look at his credits. He'll host. And he's clean, Yeah,
and right.
If they make him the headliner, one time I know at a club, he was a headliner and the people before him were dirty. So his stuff didn't fly like it should. It wasn't fair to put him with dirty comics.
Sure.
You see a whole lot of people with so much credits willing to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very humbling.
Yeah, our family's very proud of our JJ.
Oh, is he from out here?
Well, no, that was just a bad joke because we have the same last name, you see.
Oh, yeah,
Just-
totally.
Just a bad joke.
Yeah. You're from the other side of the
Gonna
track.
take a while.
What'd you say?
It's gonna take a while to get over that one.
Oh, you didn't know that was coming?
I'm slow on that uptake.
Well, yeah, I had to explain it, so it wasn't really good. Yeah. I mean, I've always had more respect for the cleaner comics because it's harder to be clean, in my opinion. But
Yeah, it's easy to just do dick jokes all day long.
I was just thinking about that today.
Dick?
Not about dicks, but about dick jokes. And I just think, like, isn't there something deeper that you could discuss? Like how
One
many?
or two is okay, but then when it's like your whole act, you're like, come on, you're better than this.
Yeah.
It's cheap,
Yeah.
easy.
yeah. So that's so you worked with JJ? Did I just hit you? Sorry, I thought I felt something.
Nope.
So you worked with him?
No, I went and saw him at
okay.
a club, and he's really, he in his own right is a great comedian.
Oh yeah.
But if you put him where the crowd is getting, having drinks and getting tired, and then you put him up at the end with clean material,
Yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
not
ha-
smart to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
should start with him.
yeah. But there's so many, like any day of the week, you can go catch really good comedians up and down the strip everywhere.
Sure.
It's like, whoa.
And you do a lot of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They 3 clubs let me help fill the seats. So it's nothing for me to find strangers and get them into clubs. And it's not really barking because it's kind of barking, but
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
it's
Yeah.
kind of, like I'm not getting paid and I don't want to get paid. I just want to do it.
They give
because
you time or anything?
like a couple of the bookers put me on their little shows.
Okay.
And I'm starting to get on the bigger shows.
Oh, okay,
But I don't
nice.
expect it. I want to do it because I love talking. Every time I talk to somebody, I'm gaining a fan.
Oh, sure.
So I have that to gain. So anything else is a bonus. Like
Right.
If I'm talking to you and I get you into a club, you're going to remember me. So
True.
kind of selfish, really.
I like but I like what you do in this form. Like again, had a blast on your show. You have a real good energy about it. You ask, you have good questions. I mean, I don't know what your goals are, if you have any, but that's where I think
Thank you.
that's your peak, your
Niche.
forte, your niche. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
that's.
you. My goal is to have a Las Vegas. Are you listening out there? A Las Vegas club. Let me be the person that interviews the people coming through, because that's what I did at Harvey's in Portland.
Okay.
And they haven't picked up on that.
Well, what do you mean interview the people coming through? Like the comedians that are playing the clubs?
So you say you have a club in Las Vegas, like the Notoriety Club or
Right, okay.
LA Comedy Club. I've hit them up to let me be the house interviewer. So all of the talent coming through afterward, like you guys,
Yeah.
but at a club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
But-
what I'd like.
And then in front of the audience that's there, or something like this? You mean?
Something like
Oh,
this.
okay, yeah.
But even if I do it from home, but it's got their logo and to have their
Right.
stamp of approval.
That's exactly what drew us to here, to be able to
Yeah.
have this name behind us.
So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And they should, because that is, especially with the pandemic, everybody's doing podcasts, and it's all videos, and they should these places should kind of catch up, and you'd be perfect for that.
Thank you. So my passion for the military and military comedy and the veterans. So a lot of the stuff I do, I send out to military organizations and veteran-owned companies, and so that those people can see it is for them. And so with that in mind, I've gotten to know Carlo Bellario out of New Jersey, but he's
Yes, I know you're talking about. Mhm.
so he hit me up the other day to help. He puts his Animal House radio out
Yes.
to the military,
Oh, okay.
like Stars and Stripes, only on
Right.
the radio.
Yeah.
And he asked me to co-host an upcoming huge interview with him.
Oh, great.
So
Yeah,
I would
that's
love
great.
to, in any way, be in front of the interviews with the military.
Sure.
He,
With all your experience and
Yeah,
stuff.
I had a little brain fart
good.
for a moment, but yeah, we know Carlo well. Right in the beginning, when we first came here, he did a show from Jersey here
Right.
for a short time. Yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, that's great.
That was nice to
Yeah.
have him offer that to me.
Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah, that's
But good
great.
things will happen if you're good to people and you do it with a pure heart to just be of service.
Right.
You're not doing it so that something will come your way, but if something does come your way,
Right.
because of it.
Right. I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. You just want to do it because it's fun and you like just being out there, but there's nothing wrong with getting something a little back in return. Absolutely. And that's deserved. So that's cool.
Thank you.
Very nice. It's great.
That's it.
And when will you know if you're doing this with him?
He says it's in the works, and so I'm thinking maybe in a month or two.
Okay.
I will wait. It took me like I interviewed Sinbad that took months.
Oh yeah, talking about clean comics.
Yeah. I waited and waited. I can wait.
Yep.
I waited 36 years to get my pension from the VA. So,
Wow.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll play the waiting game.
36 years. Because is it like a job? You have to wait till, like most jobs, is like, what is it, 59 before you can get your pension one? Is that why? Or
When
did
I
you...
say pension, I guess I really mean disability, but I don't like saying it. So
Yeah,
I have
I
a
hear
brain
you.
injury and PTSD, and I put in for PTSD when I got out of the military, and they said, no, you can have depression. And I said, no, I'm not taking depression as what's wrong with me. It's PTSD from friendly fire from the men.
Yeah, right.
And so I waited and I kept submitting it until finally they said, fine, shut up. Here you go.
Oh, so that's what you mean by 36 years. You had to fight for it.
Yeah, you had to fight for it.
That's awful. Well, I'm glad it finally
Yeah, I'm
worked
sorry you
out,
had
but
to
that
fight for it.
stinks.
Yeah, but I like to call it a pension because
Right.
disability has a negative, but it's not the truth. I like to lie about it.
Well, speaking of lying on the couch, Art's not coming, says Helene.
Oh.
Why, Helene? What happened? Is he scared?
He might be busy.
Did you? Yeah, that's awesome. By the way, so yeah, and doing stuff like Stars and Stripes type outlet. We almost a few years ago, we almost got an opportunity to perform one of our murder mysteries for some troops, and I was so excited. I wanted that to happen. I was ready to tell the lady, "Hey, look, just fly us down, and we'll like." I was almost willing just to do that, just to have that as our pay, because I wanted to do it that bad, but it didn't pan out. But I would love to do something like that. Did you, when you were in Germany, did you see anything like, did Bob Hope come through or anything like that?
Nothing, not one. And that's kind of why, like I know what the military is going through, and I went through it, and I can relate to them, and I'm out. So I've been in the news a few times for what I do for the military and veterans. And like one of the newscasters said that I will do anything at any time for one veteran, let alone a group. So I've gone to the VA hospital and done comedy at somebody's bed. And as I'm leaving, he code blue.
Oh.
So my jokes do kill. Wrong kill. And I've done comedy in the rain for 1,000 veterans at a time in a parking lot. And so I get to say that I've done 1,000 men.
I was just about to say it.
Yeah.
In a parking lot, yeah. Very proud of you, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrible. And so, I'm always looking, if I feel, I've seen enough military vets, I'll know if somebody used to be military. Mm-hmm. It's not they all kind of act alike. Mm-hmm. They do. And so then I'll talk to them and tell them about the military shows I've done that are on my YouTube, or how I would love to have them bring a group and entertain them on Zoom.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
I did a weekly show at the VA on 23rd and 1st for a good 6 months, where I was bringing another talent to come down there and make the veterans laugh in the outpatient psych ward.
Oh, wow. So. That must have been challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Liz says you definitely killed that day. Yeah. And then, I don't know. Helene says from Philly. I don't know what that.
From Philly.
Maybe Arts in Philly. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's talking about.
That's
from
probably
Philly.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, where does your daughter live now? What state?
She lives in California. Last
what
I
part?
heard, Murrieta in
Where
the
is
Inland
that?
Empire. So like you've got LA, and then you've got Palm Springs or whatever, but in the middle there's a strip going down to San Diego on the 215 that's called the Inland Empire.
Okay.
And that's where she lives, down there in Menifee, Murrieta area.
Okay.
Yeah. Love to have her back in my life.
Yeah, we got to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you reached out?
So many times I'm surprised I haven't been banned. But she blocks me whenever I do find her on
That's
something.
awful. That's just silly.
So when I'm depressed about it, Sally, I write jokes.
Yeah.
The more, if you see me out posting a lot of jokes, you'll know why.
That's when you've reached out.
You've been posting a lot since you've been here. Like
Yes.
just this weekend alone, it was like post after post. Oh yeah, and that reminds you, what happened? Did you had a COVID scare or something while you were here?
I did.
What happened?
Well, I was just minding my own business. Hard to believe. And I was having lunch. Do you know who Steve Marshall is? Yeah, great comic.
Mm-hmm.
Great at everything he does. And we were just talking. All of a sudden, I felt a little queasy. So I'm going through my brain. Something I ate. And then I thought, I need to head over and get a COVID test. So I picked up a couple of the home ones. Well, I don't know how to read directions and follow them. And I got 2 positives. So I'm like telling people I met, alert. And I'm going to go and get a real test, because who knows?
Sure.
There's so many chances you can get a false negative or positive. So I wanted to know. So I went over to the VA, and they said, screw you. It's too late. We're not doing them tonight. Go over to the urgent care. Went over there. It says open 365, 24 hours. They're closed. Locked up. Go to the Bellevue Hospital. So I said, listen, I need a COVID. And they're like, come back tomorrow. And I'm like, no,
unbelievable.
Not going. I'm gonna. How can I skirt around your issues to get approved? I told you I'm stubborn. I'm going to stay here, sing Kumbaya till I get so I got the test, and I was negative. So then I felt good.
I'm surprised you saw a positive in the home test, because once it's positive, that's like it,
I know.
It's like being a little pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, but you felt okay after that?
Yeah.
So you don't know.
I wondered why I felt so queasy and stuff, and I think it was because of some Italian food I ate the night before, or some kind of grease that I'm allergic to everything. So it could have been something I was having a reaction to.
Right. So, was this before or after a hug from Bosie?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Now we're talking.
See, we
That
should have
get
thought about that in the
upset.
You
beginning.
see? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Helene, I don't know what's going on. So she said from Philly, then she said Joe Firestone, Comedy Central, Bobby Collins. I don't know if she's just...
She's trying to give me cues to say things
Oh.
to make it.
Do you have a Bobby Collins story?
We met with Bobby Collins.
Oh.
That's a great thing to remind me of. We got to have dinner with him.
Wow.
And
Nice guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him here once.
yeah, he's been a great friend, and for some crazy reason he allowed us to have dinner with him the other night and gave Helene and I tips on getting to the next level, how to be strong in the business.
That's
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
And how
it's
did
great.
that come about in the first place? You and Helene already knew him?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she'd been talking with him, and really nothing happens in comedy around here without Helene helping it happen.
Sure.
And so she had given me Bobby as a person to interview, and so he and I bantered, and every once in a while I'll send him a thing and a Facebook message, and he'll reply. And one time somebody tried to scam me under Bobby Collins' name, and I thought it was Bobby Collins needing money for his daughter's nonprofit. So I sent him money, and it wasn't Bobby.
Oh, that sucks.
I'd been scammed.
Scammers are just, they're
Yeah, the
like
worst.
And
the
that made
worst.
Bobby and I get closer because he...
Yeah, he probably felt awful.
Yeah. So he's been he's always very supportive of anything I'm doing. He'll help out. And
Oh, that's great.
Plus, he
yeah,
knows
it's
you
been
fall for things, so he wants to, keep you around.
great. Yeah.
Just in case he does need something.
What else did Elaine say we should talk? I talked about Joe Firestone already
Right.
earlier.
We talked about Comedy Central.
Yep.
That was it.
And-
Liz Batapete says the C on the home test does not mean positive. It means control.
Well, hell, no wonder I thought it was positive.
Oh,
I'm not
Yeah.
good with directions.
yeah. Well, the first time you do it, it is a little involved, and then you do it a handful more times. It's really simple, but the first time is always a little tricky. And each test is different, Like I've picked up different tests. Can't it just be one test?
Totally.
And we found out that you're not good with directions today when we told you to come in the back.
I know.
And you were in the front.
Where are we? I was in the wrong door. I'm like, why is this?
I'm like, Tony, why didn't you tell her to come in the back? He's like, I did.
She comes out and goes
I
around
didn't
the-
say it like that. though.
And then, so I ran out there, and then I grab you, but I was in the middle of doing this, so I was like, I have to run really fast, but we're all the way in the back. Just open up the back door. And then I heard you in the bathroom, and then I'm thinking, I bet you $10 I have to go break her out of the bathroom because it's the worst door. Isn't it the worst door?
It is.
There's something, and no matter but we all know you have to turn all the way aside, and then you have to really believe in yourself to get out. So I've gotten a lot of people out of that bathroom.
I thought it was like an IQ test to make it in here.
It
What door?
is. It's and so a lot of times I'll say, if I know you haven't been here in the building, I'm like, but really, when you're leaving, just really believe in yourself when you get out of that door.
All right. So you got, 3 days left?
Yes.
What do you got? So what are you doing for the remainder before you head back?
Today we're going to have a birthday party for Vanessa Hollingshead.
Oh.
Elaine and I are going to go spend, maybe Maya DiGiorgio will join us. You guys got to support Maya DiGiorgio. Has she been here?
No.
Oh my God.
I
she's
saw
an
you've been posting
entertainer.
about her. Yeah.
She's fire.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to have to check her out.
Yeah.
Hollingshead, love her. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not pass up Vanessa Hollingshead's talent. Oh my gosh.
And she's hot too.
Yeah, she's very good looking. And so that's today, a lunchtime with them.
Very nice.
And then two more shows at Broadway.
Oh, nice.
And I've lost count how many.
You're
it's
so
been.
busy, man.
That's
I'm
right.
exhausted thinking about your week.
Even today, didn't you do another interview before you came in here?
No.
Oh, you said
We
something.
were on a Zoom thing with Joe Firestone, who does the
okay.
good timing on Peacock. That
Right.
I'm a part of.
Oh, okay.
I'm a part of the group, but not the movie, because I'm in Vegas. So they didn't have, in
See
their
that?
budget for me to be in the movie from.
See, you got to stay here. You'll get in Peacock
Yeah.
movies. You'll get Men.
I know.
See that? You got to stay.
And there's a dairy close by, right?
There's a dairy everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Got
right
milk?
next door to a comedy club. What's better, right?
There's always some food place
Get
on
an
Long
egg
Island.
sandwich and then just walk over and make people laugh. Oh, Liz says she saw Maya at McGuire's twice.
Yes, Elizabeth loves her, and vice versa. They love each other.
Nice. All right, so that's great. So you're nice and busy.
Yeah.
All right, so now, so where do people, if they want to check you out, where do they find you? And the show too, the podcast where you're interviewing. Tell us all.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm not on OnlyFans. I don't go that far for attention. Just up and down the streets of Vegas in a prom gown. But yeah, I'm Linda Marcus Smith, and I'll leave out Twitter because that's got a weird handle. It's like Clot Info. It's back in the day when I was trying to teach people about how everybody has blood clots and doesn't know it. And so Clot Info, but yeah. So my YouTube is comedian Linda Marcus Smith, and that's where all my military shows are. I've got 40 or 41 of them up there.
Nice.
Like Wendy Liebman and
She's great too.
Bob Zaney. Do you know that Zaney guy?
I think so. I'm not terribly familiar, but I think I know who he is.
He loves to roast me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it gives me a hard time. Like, haven't we heard enough from you already? Yes, the whole world has. And so, yeah, that's comedian Linda Marcus Smith. 963 comedy interviews, including Sinbad, Tommy Chong, and you name it. Tony Walker.
Who's
Sallie.
who do you hope to be 1,000?
Sally, what's your last name? I was shying away.
Well, legally.
Walker.
Well, yeah, but and then I go with my maiden name, like O'Neill too. So
That's it.
Yeah.
Sally O'Neill.
Sally O'Neill.
Sally O'Neill. She's so proud of it.
She's wanted by the law, so she's... So, yeah, so 960...
Sally Walker's cool. There's even a song. Little
There is
Sally
a song
Walker.
from the 50s, a rhythm and blues song called Little Sally Walker.
No way.
Yeah.
Way, yeah. Yeah, so 963, so you got 37. So on your 37 more, who's going to be the big 1,000th interview? It's got to be somebody special.
Somebody put in for it, and his name is James Esterline out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
That's a long name.
Yeah. And he just asked, so I'm
So
gonna
he
honor
contacted you out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I want to be your thousandth."
And it's really not going to be an interview. It's going to be a show.
Oh, okay.
And so he's going to be the host.
Oh.
And I'm going to invite everybody I've interviewed to come and be on the show. I don't care how long that show goes.
So, and this would be where, in Vegas?
On Zoom.
Oh, everybody would just join in on Zoom. Oh, all right.
That'd
So
be
that
fun.
includes us.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
Dun dun dun.
It's
We're
going to
definitely
be
in.
great because,
We'll-
we're all going to be celebrating how wonderful I am. It's going to be like a birthday party on crack for me.
Nice.
Not so
Nice.
much for you.
Well,
but
you deserve it. So, yeah.
no, it's going to be for all of you guys. I've forgotten most of what everybody's told me. I'm not like Don Sill. I have a brain injury.
Well, Don Sills, he'll be able to be a part of it too.
Yes, please.
So we'll grab him. The three of us will join
Yeah.
the Zoom together, and he'll remind you of everything.
Yes.
And we'll get
Jeff
Art to do
Bosey, he's the one
yes.
that made me laugh the hardest of all the interviews.
See, now I know your memory is not right.
Yeah.
Bosey made you laugh the hardest?
Shit, I don't know what it is. Maybe he makes like little quick statements, succinct little, and
Yeah.
like if they go on and on, you don't laugh as much. But this little, I think that's the way he.
He
talks.
is good at that, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get all those guys, and we'll get Art Shield to do a strip.
Okay.
Yeah, like Art will have to be naked through the whole thing.
The whole sit
Yeah.
throughout the whole Zoom. You can't talk, just has to sit there
He's
naked.
just stand there in his nakedness.
Now that I've said that Art's so cute, all the other men in Long Island are going to quit coming after me.
No, now that they know there's a little competition, now they're gonna.
They're gonna see that Art didn't show up, so they're gonna be like,
They're gonna
I'll
be
show
like,
up.
now is my chance. I'm gonna make her forget Art.
You're in New York, man. There's tons of people. This is the place to find some action. If Art snoozes, he loses.
Yeah.
So
do you know what a woman my age has to do to get a man to look at her?
Come
Over all the
on,
young
really?
people? Oh my god. It's like that. Like people say, "Oh, you're so gorgeous. You look like Marilyn Monroe." Yeah. Well, and your wife,
right.
it doesn't. Nothing. Yeah. I've been single since 1981. I gave up on the confidence.
1980. So for over 40 years, you've been single.
Yeah.
I mean, you've
I've dated 3 times, and anytime anybody shows an interest, I start like acting like Mel Tillis and stuttering.
Wait a minute. I got to. You've dated 3 times, meaning you've been on 3 dates since 1981?
I had 3 microwave romances, where it went too fast, I started stuttering.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Wow.
I broke up with one guy because he started beating up a rhododendron bush in Oregon. That's reasons to break up in Oregon.
Why would somebody beat up a bush?
What did the bush do?
He was a veteran. He had PTSD, and the bush just got in the way one day.
Wow.
So the bush, and you just don't. They're sacred. They're beautiful. So I had to break up.
Well, he didn't beat up like a Girl Scout. It wasn't. It was a tree.
There was a lot more
maybe
to him.
maybe I have like some harboring some feelings because of how I went out 2 rose bushes the other day.
So he was my sister's husband's brother. It was a really bad choice on my part to date somebody that's almost family already.
She did that too.
Did you?
Did I? No, I didn't.
Just last night you were telling me how you used to make out with your
Willie
sister's
Coakley.
husband's brother, right?
Yeah, my sister
Take it
got
easy over there.
My sister got married.
Before I beat up your bush.
Before he beat up my bush. My bush had it coming.
There's a joke.
My bush needed a fresh one. Yeah, so my sister dated and married a guy when she was in her 20s, and me and her. He had a brother the same age as me in the class, so we ended up being the maid of honor and best man. And then we just started. We're like, he's cute, she's cute. So we started dating. So it was funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
She's a slut.
He dumped me.
Really? He dumped you?
Oh yeah, big time.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What was his reasoning? Did you beat up his bush?
I really don't blame him.
What did you do?
Well, we were working at McMichael's, and
It's a fish and chips place.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a fish and chips place, and I was like 17, and I was like SpongeBob, like I was a really like employee of the month, like loved working there. I
Nerd.
did like a really great job. Yeah, and so I was like this like kid. But I was like the shift supervisor, and so Willie needed a job. So I was like, well, just come work there. So I was his boss, and Willie was not a fast worker. He was really a bad worker. So like they were
Bad
like
work
way.
on you.
Yeah, no, he was. I really liked him. I really liked him a lot. He was made out great. Yeah, I really liked him. I was really sad, but I understood why. But like, so every day we worked together, I'd be like, oh, please just do your job. Because he wasn't a good worker at all. Like, and he'd be like, he was just hired, so he had to do like all the pots and pans and stuff. And then you'd be like really frustrated because you'd need like a certain item to, cook the next thing. And he'd be like listening to music and kind of sort of working. And I'm like, this is a really bad idea. So I'm like, could you just do it? And then after a while, he was like, I don't want to work here anymore, and I don't want to date you. And I was like, I completely understand both. Completely understand both. But I was sad because I really liked him, but he dumped my ass.
He's got bad taste. And he left a bad taste in your mouth. Sorry.
You tried to stop me. Yeah, Boshi says the same thing. I want to beat up a bush. Andy Pajanos, I would slay a bush, he says. Yeah.
Murder a bush.
Well, and then before we head on out of here, you have a show, the Funny as Fuck Females comedy show in Nashville.
Thank you.
In October, is it, or November?
October 21st.
October 21st, and it's in Nashville.
In Nashville.
And I know Helene's a part of that, right?
Yes.
And Vanessa
Yes,
is?
Vanessa and Heather Lehrman and
Heather
Janet
Lehrman.
Stewart out of California, and I'm forgetting another name.
Okay. Heather's from around here.
Yes.
I haven't seen her in a long time.
What
She
is your
moved
last
to
name?
Nashville.
She what?
She
Oh, she
moved to
moved there.
Nashville.
Oh, I didn't know
She's
that.
tearing up the place.
Really?
Doing these shows, like bigger venues. Not
Really?
huge, but she's doing shows. And
Right.
she's doing them like classes with Vanessa. And she's also doing mics where people can come on and have 10-minute spots.
Wow.
So she's making a name down there.
Good for her. I had no idea.
That's great.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all. No, that's wonderful. Good for her.
Yeah.
She's great. Very nice. Wow. I had no idea. I'm glad I asked. All right, so there you go. It is just about time for us to get out of here. Once again, we are not here tomorrow. We got to take the day off, so we'll be back Thursday. Are you coming in on Thursday with me?
Probably.
Nice.
Are there guests?
Well, I didn't. Pinky Patel is playing the clubs this weekend. I did invite her. I've not heard back. So that's the only possible guest as of now.
Yeah, Lori's leaving Thursday morning, so
Right.
I'm free.
And speaking of which, yeah, you can come see Pinky Patel at Governor's in Levittown. That's this building. Thursday night, she'll be here. Then Friday and Saturday, Anthony Rodia, the one and only Anthony Rodia, is playing here Friday and Saturday. The patio is open this weekend. Marty Caproni is playing there Friday. Our pals John Putera, Dan Larocco, Joe Cravella, Shari Palin, and others, they're playing there on the patio on Saturday. In the Giga Room this weekend, Steve White on Friday and Michael Loftus on Saturday. That'd be good. Michael Loftus is great. The Brokerage this weekend, Steve White is playing there Friday? Cool. No, that can't be right because I have him down from the Giga Room Friday. Oh. Well, he's there.
Maybe he's doing both
Maybe.
Different times.
Charlie Bequette and friends are playing Brokerage on Saturday. So Pinky Patel is so she's here Thursday. She's at McGuire's in Bohemia on Friday. And Marty Caproni is there on Saturday. So you have a few opportunities to see Pinky Patel and Marty Caproni and Anthony Rodia. Go to govs.com. Govs.com, that's the website. Check out the full schedule and to make your reservations. And, of course, don't forget October 28th. In the Giga Room, Knockem Dead Comedy, we're performing our 80s-themed murder mystery just in time for Halloween. So put on your favorite 80s outfits. We're going to have a costume contest. Put on any costume you want. And just in time for Halloween, we'll have a murder. We'll have a costume contest. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to see our full schedule and what we got going on. But go to govs.com to get make your reservations for us at the Giggle Room. Oh, thanks. I forgot about that. And we had a great time at the beach this past weekend. Fat Jay and Dan Larocco both performed at the beach, and they killed it. We'll be back there this Friday for Half Step, the Grateful Dead tribute band, where our own and only Tom Sanfilippo, the host of our show Flip Tracks Radio, he's the leader of that band. So that's this Friday. I don't know who the comedian is yet, but we'll let you know once we find out. That's this Friday. August 26th, we'll be back there hosting for Fleetwood Mac and Refugee, a Tom Petty tribute band. That'll be a lot of fun. And our last show there is Sunday, October 28th, Captain Jack, a Billy Joel tribute band. They're going to be playing on August 28th there at the beach. Come on down. The shows start anywhere from 7 to 7:30. Come on down. It's a great atmosphere right there on the beach, and there's a bar, and there's food. There's all sorts of great stuff going on there. So don't miss out on that. That's August 28th, right? Yeah. Don't forget this Thursday at 3 o'clock, Elio Pace. We'll be talking to Elio. He's got a new live album coming out on Friday. So we'll be talking to him. That's at 3 o'clock on Thursday. And I think that's it. Yep. All right. We're out of here. Once again, we're not here tomorrow. You know, Beansy, I guarantee Beansy's going to email me. Where is the show? I tried to find it today.
Where are you guys?
We have a viewer. His name is Beansy, and he just never listens.
Art
Helene,
Shill's probably getting a restraining order against
well,
him.
Helene just commented. She said Art wrote here. Where?
Do you have it on live?
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us
Where?
what he said, because they can't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it, Helene. Did he write here or on the YouTube, on the Facebook feed, maybe?
Maybe just refresh it.
There was no, not there. Let me check the. Let me just check the Facebook.
Maybe
feed.
you wrote on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
what you just said, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Where is it?
I told you nothing happens without Helene. Look at her.
I see that. Yeah. Give me a second, quickly, to see to find the.
Love is in the air.
Let's see.
Oh my God, Helene, just copy and paste.
No, it's not. It's Yeah, it's not there.
Maybe she means on the Facebook post.
Yeah, that's what we were just looking
Yeah, that's what I just
Oh.
looked at, and it's not. It's not there. But,
Okay.
all right.
Cool.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, you too, Jeff. Have a great day. Everybody, have a great day. Thank you, Linda. It was nice to see you in person and to hang out with you.
So great.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, good. Thank
And
you
you
so much for letting me
Absolutely.
come here. What a blessing. To
Oh
be
yeah,
here.
our pleasure.
and Jeff and Don Sill and Elizabeth. Thanks so much. And
Yeah, we have
Andrew.
a great bunch of people.
Yeah.
We really are. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so we will see you now. What's tomorrow night? Is Hershey and Keegs on tomorrow night? So we're not here, but you're back here tomorrow night for Hershey and Keegs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Helene Witt says, "Eat, Drink, Laugh" is a documentary. She just has like random thoughts going on here today. Yeah,
Very
that's
random.
fine.
And they come.
But go watch it. Eat, drink, and laugh. It's a documentary.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your Tuesday and your Wednesday, and we'll see you Thursday. See you guys.
Bye.